This is the fight of their lives. 56 elite fighters battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
That's enough! What a fight. The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive?
Knockout victory!
An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen.
Unbelievable!
This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
Welcome, fight fans, once again to PFL Challenger Series action. Featherweights taking center stage here in Week 6 on Fubo Sports. How does the Challenger Series work? Well, we've got 8 fighters. That means 4 fights, but only 1 contract to give away. 4 fight winners are all eligible for the contract. The PFL will narrow the winners down to 2 finalists. Our celebrity panel, who we'll meet in a moment, weighs in. You, the fans at home, have an opportunity to help us decide who wins the contract. And the contract winner appears in our 2023 PFL season. Sean O'Connell, happy to be here once again alongside Kenny Florian. Kenny, this is a weight class you have some experience in. So, what do you expect from the featherweights?
Yeah, that's right. This is one of the deepest weight classes in all of mixed martial arts. A ton of talent here, a ton of talent back there as well. And this is the Challenger Series where, you know, a win isn't good enough. You got to go out there, you got to impress these judges, you got to impress the fans, and I think they're going to do just that. 8
great fighters, 4 incredible matchups. Let's take a look. Our first fighter from the country of India, Vikas Singh Ruhil, takes on James Gonzalez, Ago Huskic. We've seen him before. Talk more about that in a second. He takes on an undefeated Brazilian prospect in Gabriel Braga. Nathan Kelly's been on a hot streak. Zach Hicks is standing in his way as he seeks a PFL contract. And Brian Sorcher, he's been here twice before. He hopes 3rd time is the charm as he takes on David Evans. But Evans is the favorite as we take a look at the odds. You can see a big number next to Nathan Kennedy's name, as is the case for Gabriel Braga and James Gonzalez, both big-time favorites out of the blue corner. I told you that here in the Challenger Series, our celebrity panel makes up 1 vote of who gets the contract. And we welcome a newcomer, great American, Green Beret, high-level mixed martial artist, overall legend, Tim Kennedy. Welcome to the Challenger Series. First of all, what is going to get your vote for these featherweights?
Man, I'm excited about tonight. You know, we got fighters from all over the world. From prior weeks, we see a lot of undefeated fighters, and tonight we have a bunch of undefeated fighters. Frankly, I'm just excited to see really how tough they are in the cage.
We'll hear from Tim Kennedy throughout the night. Tyron Woodley is back. T. Wood, you've been here for the Challenger Series a couple of seasons now. We're in Week 6. The pressure is on for these featherweights. Who rises to the occasion?
Sean, I had an opportunity to have some FaceTime with the featherweights in the back. They were calm before the storm, which tells me that lightning is on its way. I can hear some lightning on Tie Pass right now. The dog with the loudest bark does not mean they're the most dangerous. Tonight, the featherweights will get a chance to make myself, the rest of the panel, and the fans voting a believer.
And a former world champion featherweight in her own right, Megan Anderson. What are your expectations for these young men?
Well, as somebody who has fought at featherweight for my career, seeing these guys fight at 145 and have the opportunity to change their lives is huge. I'm so excited. I'm ready to see who's going to step up, rise to the occasion, and earn that PFL contract tonight.
Kenny, as you know, when you have a couple of legends in the building, you send them backstage to talk to these rising fighters, give them a few words of wisdom. We did that with Tyron Woodley and Megan Anderson earlier. Take a look.
Hey, you know what I like? When I came back here, it was real peaceful. That means you guys know the storm that's ahead of you back there. You know, don't try to go out of your means. Don't try to go crazy. Go out there and win. Go out there and fight hard. Go out there and prove to us that you belong here. Make us believe. Make everybody that's watching you believe that you next up.
but we're looking for the individual that is going to put it all out on the line inside the cage tonight. We're looking for the one who's wanting to finish the fight at every single second. Don't just coast. We all know that you're incredible athletes. Show us why you should be given that contract tonight.
Been 5 weeks. 5 people didn't sign a dotted line. It's going to be a 6th contract given out tonight. Be that one to get that contract. Be the one to change your life. Be the one to enter into that tournament and go after that $1 million bag. Let's go.
Tyron Woodley, he's an observant guy. Talked about the calm before the storm. A lot of these guys moving around the hotel, even here on fight night, stoic, focused. All right, let's turn our focus to how we bet a card like this one. These are rising prospects. You might not know a lot about all of them, and we saw some big numbers when I showed you the odds before. We have a betting expert to help us navigate this process. His name is Ian Parker. He's the best handicapper in the world of mixed martial arts. Ian, how we betting this card?
Thanks, Sean. You know, tonight, to your point, there are a few fights with really heavy favorites. So I'm going to kind of take that and try to shrink it down, make this playable, and get us in some plus money. Start off the first fight of the night, James Gonzalez, minus 650. Coming off a huge win over Cody Law, was one of the top prospects in the country. Gonzalez proved him wrong. He's going to be the first leg of the parlay. And pay attention to the betting big board. That's minus 650 number is going to come down drastically. We're going to go Nathan Kelly. He has been nothing short of impressive. His last fight win by sub in round 1. We saw him in the PFL. I expect him to do great things tonight. Last but not least, we are going to go with Brian Zorcho. I love what I saw out of him in the PFL the last 2 times. I'm actually surprised at the underdogs. I think we're getting tremendous value, and by clicking him, we're going now from -3 to +193. So we're going to lock that in. I got one other play on the night. Usyk, Braga, I'm going over 2.5. Even though Usyk's lost his last 3 fights we saw against Brendan Loughnane, all were losses by decision. Braga, 2 of his last 4 wins by decision, over 2.5 as a money line play for me right there, Sean.
Thank you, Ian Parker. We'll check in with the Duck throughout the night. PFL Challenger Series action on Fubo Sports begins right now. Our first fight brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. Vikas Singh Ruhil out of India. James Gonzalez from the United States of America. Here in the PFL Challenger Series, fighters introduce themselves courtesy of our friends at Puncher's Chance Kentucky Bourbon. First, the blue corner.
Fighting out of Garden City, New York, with a record of 9-5. James, the Alley Cat Gonzalez. Besides fighting, you know, I do like home renovations on the side when I can, in between fights. So like I am kind of, I guess, a carpenter. But right now, at this point in my career, this is what I want my full focus to be on. And it'd be great to, you know, just have this as my full-time income. And this is why I want to compete and really put on exciting fights.
There is James Gonzalez, as you can see, big-time favorite in our first fight of the night. 2 knockouts, 2 submissions of his 9 career pro mixed martial arts victories. And now let's meet the red corner.
Fighting from Mumbai, record of 12-6, Vikas Gabbar Singh. ओके मैं पहला इंडियन फाइटर हूँ जो पीएफएल में खेल रहा हूँ। मैं पीएफएल को थैंक यू बोलना चाहता हूँ कि मुझे ये मौका दिया। और दूसरी चीज़ ये है कि इस फाइट के लिए मैं काफ़ी अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करके आया हूँ। आई एम रेडी।
There he is, Vikas Singh Ruhil, the first fighter to represent India in any PFL cage. Huge underdog here. 7 submissions on his record. He calls himself a striker, but he does have 7 submissions. Tail the tape brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. Vikas Singh Ruhil is 30 years of age. James Gonzalez is 3 years older. Gonzalez also 3 inches taller. Both men weighed in at the featherweight limit of 146 pounds. 2-inch reach advantage on the arms, favoring Singh Ruhil. The opposite is true on the legs, 2 inches favoring James Gonzalez. There is your referee, Josh Rutgers, to oversee the action.
You ready? You ready?
James Gonzalez in the gray, Vikas Singh Ruhil in the black. Touch of the gloves, and we are underway. Gonzalez in the southpaw stance. Starts with a push kick.
Gonzalez will come at you with a lot of funky angles, a lot of funky strikes as well. Very unorthodox, but very effective. Can throw off a lot of opponents out there.
Here early, attempting a bunch of different kicks. Inside leg kick, then goes to the body. You saw the wheel kick attempt earlier. Now working on the outside of the leg, side kick. I don't know if there's another kick in the arsenal. We haven't seen him throw in the early going, Kenny.
Yeah, definitely throwing a lot of kicks, trying to keep Vikas on the outside. Vikas is a guy who loves to look for that double leg, and Gonzalez really attacking that body early. Oh, another nice knee.
Now Singh Ruhil coming in, trying to close this distance, potentially grab a hold of Gonzalez. Left hand misses for Gonzalez. Tyron Woodley, one part of our celebrity panel. Seeing Gonzalez open with a lot of kicks here.
Yeah, I'm seeing Gonzalez doing a lot of kicks, but he's not really throwing the strikes first. Usually in mixed martial art, we like to see the strikes and then the kicks so you can protect yourself. Ruhil has an opportunity to really counter, check the kick and throw back, block the kick and use his hands, or lead as he's throwing the kick and throw a punch at the same time. So let's see if he does that and incorporate that into this first round.
Megan Anderson, there's a blitz from Gonzalez. Does he get the hands involved here about halfway through the round?
He does, but I would like to see him throw some feints in between those kicks. Like he's got some powerful hands, but man, Ruhil is just, he needs to aggressively close that range. He needs to double, triple up on that jab, go to the body, because he needs to nullify that kicking game of Gonzalez, and he isn't going to be able to do that at range.
And here, Vikas Singh Ruhil finally able to get his hands on Gonzalez, but Gonzalez turns around, unleashes a furious barrage of punches here. Tim Kennedy, what do you want to see Gonzalez do with Singh pushed up against the cage?
Yeah, this pressure is super important. You know, Singh has been pretty responsive this whole entire fight, on his heels. You know, Gonzalez has been pushing the pace. So, you know, at this point, change the levels, getting a takedown, mixing it up. These are the keys to winning in mixed martial arts. It's called mixed martial arts. So you got to kind of bring the arsenal to the forefront.
Ian Parker, refresh my memory on how we bet this fight.
We took Gonzalez as the first leg of our parlay as a minus 650 favorite. And you know what? I like what he's doing with the leg kicks, trying to get his opponent to slow down. Therefore, the strikes, the power isn't there. I wouldn't mind seeing a takedown, mixing it up, but so far he looks pretty good. He's controlling the narrative of this fight, and I like what he's doing so far.
Nice right hand and a left hook lands for Vikas Singh Ruhil. Oh, that one landed on the neck. Gonzalez drops Vikas Singh Ruhil and right down into the mount.
Yeah, this is not a good position for Vikas, who's in big trouble against Gonzalez, who could do some great work from this mount position. It looked like Gonzalez was hurt. He returned with a nice right hand of his own, rocked Vikas, and now right into mount.
We'll see what Singh can do to protect himself. 90 seconds is a long time to be mounted against a fighter with the experience of James Gonzalez. Right hand's coming down over the guard of Vikas. And now the left.
Yeah, Vikas is trying to tie up those arms. You definitely can't do it from that mount position. Now Gonzalez might be trying to redirect him towards the cage again.
Vikas Singh Ruhil just grabs the lockdown position. Try to survive the rest of this round.
Oh, big right hands.
Referee taking a closer look.
Protect yourself. Stop.
That'll do it. James Gonzalez, first round TKO finish.
Very dominant performance there from Gonzalez. Got rocked briefly, but this fight was really all Gonzalez, Sean.
The punch that dropped Vikas Singh Ruhil came right after he himself had the most success of the round.
Yeah, definitely.
James Gonzalez turns the tide, gets the finish. We'll speak with the winner when we return on Fubo Sports.
Here's a look at basically the recap of the first round, which is all we got to see. Gonzalez was able to land some good kicks at the beginning of the round, established his range, took control of the center of the cage. Definitely putting on pressure, looking for those shots. Singh Ruhil was looking for the counter shots, did land some big shots, and did put pressure on Gonzalez, but ultimately gets that little looping hook behind the ear, goes to the mat, gets mounted, and that was the end. Well, the beginning of the end. After this, it was about 2 minutes of a mounted ground and pound by Gonzalez, who wins this fight that he took last minute in the Challenger Series via TKO in the first round. Excellent work. Will it be enough for him to win that contract? Too early to tell. Again, we've given out already 6 contracts. That Jean in the welterweights, Amanda Levy in the featherweight female, Abraham Bablia, male heavyweight, Elvin Espinoza as a lightweight, and finally last week the debut of the women's flyweights, Dirty Desiree Yanez was able to take it. Again tonight, one of these featherweights will win that contract. And don't forget, next week we are coming back March 10th with the light heavyweights. And then our final week, the second chance opportunity for some of these fighters on St. Patrick's Day on March 17th. There's still plenty of action left tonight here in the PFL Challenger Series, Week 6, the featherweights. Coming to you live from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. The winner of fight number 1, James Gonzalez, with a TKO first round victory over his opponent, Vikas Singh Ruhil. And all that is left now is for us to come back with Sean O'Connell for the official decision in the cage. And again, the main event tonight, Brian Searcher squaring off against David Evans, co-main. Nathan Kelly squaring off against Zach Hicks, and coming up next, Ago Husic versus Gabriel Braga. Stay tuned.
Take down stray grays and beef up patchy areas with Just for Men's new one-day beard and brow color. Scan to learn more about this temporary gray fighter that stays put till you wash it out. Just for Men, the official beard brand of the PFL. And fight fans, don't forget you can watch PFL and much more on Fubo. Get 100 live channels of sports, shows, and lots of extras for half the cost of cable. Watch 7 days for free. Sign up at FuboTV.com/PFL. That's FUBOTV.com/PFL. Take a look at the Ready for More Prep Point, brought to you by the United States Air Force Reserve. Ago Huskic getting wrapped up. We'll see him in just a little bit, vying for a featherweight PFL contract here on the Challenger Series on Fubo Sports.
All right, let's check out the Air Force Reserve post-fight stats. We saw a lot of dynamic kicks from James Gonzalez early on. You see 20 there from Gonzalez. 21 arm strikes from Vikas Singh Ruhil. And let's check out the Celsius post-fight replay. There's a nice right hand by Vikas Singh Ruhil. Another nice right hand, and then Gonzalez decided to return the favor. Beautiful right hand that dropped. Vikas went right into mount, and this really was the beginning of the end. Here's that barrage there from the Indian fighter. Nice right hands. And then Gonzalez returns with a nice flurry. Nice ground and pound, hip smash, and then right into mount. And this is ultimately where he was able to finish. Vikas Singh Ruhil wasn't able to really stop this barrage from Gonzalez, who was just relentless from mount, stayed very aggressive, was pursuing this finish. Huge right hands. He had eaten a lot of those during the fight. And here's another look at that. Big right hands as Vikas was turning right into those shots. Beautiful stuff there from James Gonzalez. And Sean O'Connell is in the cage with the official announcement. Sean.
Referee Josh Ruckers calls a halt to this bout, 4 minutes and 20 seconds into round number 1, declaring your winner by TKO, James Gonzalez. All right, the Alley Cat, James Gonzalez, first round finish. Let's talk about that sequence. He finally has a little success, lands a combination on you. You give him a right hand, right back. What were you thinking when he dropped?
Well, good thing about me is when I get hit, it kind of lights a fire under me to hit back. It connects the guys at the gym. So, you know, I'm an alley cat, like they say. I love wars. I love, you know, getting finishes. I thought this was a great, you know, ground finish for me. You know, it's nice to do something other than a submission. But now I feel good. I definitely want to get back in here as soon as possible if I can. You know, there were some guys on this roster that, you know, didn't take a fight with me. I want to just say thanks to Vikas for taking it. You know, I'm not saying I'm invincible, but, like, I want to fight you guys. So if I can get a fight, even if it's a guy out of my league, please give it to me. I want to put on good performances. And I want to fight. I want to get beat up a little bit. I like this stuff. You know, this is my dream.
Congratulations. The Alley Cat, James Gonzalez. Kenny Florian, what's up next?
We have a tasty one, Sean. There's Ago Huskic. Excellent striker, big power. We saw what he could do against Brendan Loughnane last year. And his opponent, the Brazilian, Gabriel Braga. His father was a well-known mixed martial artist. He's following in those footsteps. Don't go anywhere. That's next.
This is the fight of their lives. 56 elite fighters battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
What a fight. The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive? An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen.
Unbelievable!
This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
And here we are, the PFL 2023 Challenger Series schedule. As you can see, we have already awarded 5 contracts thus far. Thad Jean took it for the welterweights. Amanda Levy for the women's featherweights, a new division that we kicked off this year. Men's heavyweights, Abraham Badley, the Brit, was able to take the contract. Elvin Espinoza for the lightweights. Last week was the debut of the women's flyweight division, and Dirty Desiree Yanez was able to get it. Who will win tonight? It's yet to be decided. Definitely start casting your votes. But coming up next, we have this fight, which I think is going to be a barn burner. Ago Husic facing off against Gabriel Braga.
I took no damage in the Brendan Loughnane fight. That he's got like pillow hands, like nothing hurt. I didn't feel anything with any of Brendan's powers. As where you could see with my power, like the Bosnian Dragon power, like shut his eye. So if I had three full months to fight Brendan Loughnane, I'd shut both those eyes.
This striking, centric fighter, very powerful, but he is a complete and experienced fighter, comes from a fighting family, trained by his father, and excited to be here tonight. He has a reach advantage, and again, he is entering this fight undefeated and ready to go. But he's squaring off against a very durable and very hard Ago Husic. Gonna be a great fight. I really do think this could be fight of the night, even though any of these next 3 could be fights of the night, and we had an excellent kickoff already. Again, we are live from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida on this week 6, the featherweights. for the PFL 2023 Challenger Series. Stay tuned.
Challenger Series on Fubo Sports, and fight fans, you can watch the PFL and more on Fubo. Get over 100 live channels of sports, shows, and all the extras for half the cost of cable. Watch 7 days for free. Sign up at FuboTV.com/PFL. That's FUBOTV.com/PFL. One featherweight bout in the books, and here comes another one. Ago Huskic versus Gabriel Braga. 3 5-minute rounds brought to you by Firehouse Subs. Here in the Challenger Series, fighters introduce themselves courtesy of Puncher's Chance, Kentucky Bourbon. Here's the blue corner.
Do Rio de Janeiro para o mundo, com cartel invicto de 8 vitórias e nenhuma derrota, I am Gabriel Braga. Let's go, guys! Eu nasci no meio do esporte. Eu cresci vendo meu pai e acompanhando meu pai nos treinamentos, em todos os camps dele e nas lutas dele. Então eu acho que eu já nasci com esse sangue correndo na minha veia.
Gabriel Braga making his U.S. debut. As you can see, still undefeated and a hot prospect at only 24 years of age. And now we meet the red corner.
Representing Bosnia, fighting out of Tampa, Florida, with a record of 8 wins and 5 losses, Ago the Bosnian Dragon Huskic. I've been fighting lightweights and welterweights, and I'm one of the bigger featherweights out here. I've gone to war, and I've had a part of my soul taken out of me in a few of my fights where I had to grind deep down just to get that W. I'm more experienced in going into deep waters. So that's where I think I'll be able to take this fight, is take him into deep waters and finish him off late in the 3rd round.
The Bosnian Dragon, Ago Huskic. Big time underdog here as he takes on an undefeated Brazilian. But this guy's got skills. We've seen him once before against Brendan Loughnane, the eventual featherweight champion. Here's our tail of the tape, brought to you by Firehouse Subs. Huskic is 28. Braga, as I already mentioned, only 24 years of age. Braga is 5'9". Huskic listed there at 5'6". I think he's taller than that, Kenny. Arm reach favoring Braga. The legs length is the same for these gentlemen. Andrew Glenn will oversee the action here inside the PFL Challenger Series cage. Braga in the gray, Huskic in the black. Touch of the gloves, second bout of the evening, and a switching of the stances here for Braga. Huskic, true to form, comes out aggressive.
Yeah, Huskic, more of a brawler. Braga, more of a technical Muay Thai striker. I think this is going to be fun while it lasts. Big right hand there from Braga.
To punctuate your point, Kenny, he waited for it, he aimed it, he threw it right down the middle. Body kick lands there for Huskic, who now grabs the single.
Yeah,
Ninja choke being set up here by Braga. Huskic steps away.
And great job, he utilized that choke as a threat to get back to his feet immediately. Braga, one of these guys that really come from this new breed. His father was a guy that I trained with in Rio de Janeiro. Very accomplished and experienced mixed martial artist in his own right, and now his son following in those footsteps, hits a nice double leg takedown. Huskic, though, attacking that guillotine, and Braga getting off to the right side, proper side to avoid that choke. He's safe.
Well done by both gentlemen here. Huskic immediately with the attack. Braga defends by not allowing Huskic to control his hips. Great American celebrity judge Tim Kennedy joins us remotely. Already seeing some high-level technique on display, Tim.
Yeah.
Looks like we lost the connection there temporarily. Megan Anderson, Braga on top right now. What does Huskic need to do? He's in the mount.
Yeah, he needs to just stay patient, and when Braga goes to level up to throw those big ground and pound strikes, he needs to utilize that space to be able to get up. But Braga is just not giving him the opportunity. He's transitioning so well on the ground, just not giving Huskic any space to defend or to really escape and get back up.
All right, we've got Tim Kennedy back. Tim, like I said, already some high-level stuff from a very young fighter in Braga.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a great position right now. You know, that body lock's getting tight. He's attacking the hands, looking for that rear naked choke. I was concerned on his feet. His chin was up. He was in that high Muay Thai stance. Very dangerous. Looks like he can get a finish right now. You know, he just got to get that elbow a little bit deeper. This does not look very good right now. Braga's really close to his finish.
The Bosnian Dragon fighting off that finish. Ago Huskic has a long time to try and survive this position. Getting tighter and tighter, Kenny.
Yeah, Huskic doing the right thing. He's turning to the proper side. But Braga just always seems to be a step ahead. Doing a good job of just staying lined up with his shoulders on Huskic's back.
Hey,
Tyron Woodley.
Watch the back of the head.
Warning from the referee for a strike to the back of the head. Braga will be more careful with the shot selection here. Tyron Woodley, this kid's only 24.
Yeah, Braga was playing little drums on the back of the head a second ago, but he's on him like a Jansport, and he's on him like white on rice. He's very intelligently landing his strikes. As you said before, right there, he was already prepared for the spin around. He's right to the mount position right now. On his feet, he was claiming his shots one by one, maybe two at a time. He wasn't throwing a barrage, powerful ones, and making his head bounce off the canvas.
Ago Huskic continues to do the right things, but he is drowning right now, Ian Parker.
You know what? But we talked about this early on. He is a game fighter. He's tough. He's been in these positions before. And right now, he's just going to look to survive. I think he's going to get out of this round. But Braga is fighting just beautifully, very smart. And I think he'll probably get a finish towards the end of the second round. But kudos to Usyk if he can hang on. That is, whew, he is one tough son of a gun.
And Ian, you know, that's exactly what Braga said he wanted to do. He said, I am going to do what the champion Brendan Loughnane wasn't able to do and finish this guy. I mean, that's how confident he is coming in here. He believes he can not only get the contract, but be a world champion here in the PFL this year.
That is the dream. 4 fights tonight, only one contract to give away, and the winner of the contract will appear in our 2023 PFL regular season, chasing a title that last year was won by Brendan Loughnane. Of course, every PFL championship comes with a $1 million check. Huskic will survive as he spins out to end the round. Round 2 when we return on Fubo Sports.
And what can I say? First round, exactly what I expected from these two fighters. The aggressiveness, as you can see here. Braga was looking for the ninja choke.
Goes to,
his opponent was able to escape, and there you can see the
transition
transition to the back from Braga, who was able to control the fight on the mat. Definitely was able to maintain back control during most of the first round. Had a couple of near finishes here with the rear naked choke, but Ago was just, you know, really slick on the defense, and honestly really tough. He was able to withstand this attack, and this fight is exactly what I thought. We're just going to see more from both of these fighters, and honestly, I love what I'm seeing so far.
Welcome back to the PFL Challenger Series. Brittany says it's round number 2. Gabriel Braga in the gray, Ago Huskic with the 1-2 in the black. An impressive first round, Kenny. Was it a 10-8 potentially in favor of Braga?
It was certainly close to that, Sean. I mean, Braga was all over him, was in the mount position for the majority of that fight, and landing big shots as well. So that could be definitely something that Huskic is dealing with here.
I know it's not the kind of round that Huskic in his corner wanted, but he did prove something to me. If you're going to beat this guy, you got to put him away. he had every opportunity to give himself an excuse and get out of that first round with a guy on his back for 3 minutes. The Bosnian Dragon is still very much in it.
No, absolutely, Huskic is as tough as they come. He's not going to give up that easy, but Braga is continuing to pursue and landing some good shots while he's doing it.
Good head movement there, maybe clash of the heads as they both try and duck. Flying knee attempt there for the Bosnian Dragon. Braga able to avoid the brunt of it.
Well, Huskic has to be careful because he's bowing down over to the side where he can go right into the shin of Braga. Oh, there's a nice right hand from Braga.
And it landed on the end of a three-punch combination. Ago Huskic was able to avoid the first two, but the third landed. And there's that kick that if he keeps dipping that way, Kenny, he might take right on the chin.
Yeah, Huskic is very, very tough, but you don't want to take a shin to the face.
Huskic tries a head kick. There is the Huskic family. His father and sister came from Iowa to watch this fight. As we pause the action for an accidental groin shot.
You good? Over here.
Oh. You heard that one land on the plastic. Unfortunate situation there, happens every once in a while in the open stances. Huskic back to orthodox, lands a hook.
And Braga seemed like he was still dealing with some pain, decided to run right back in there.
Tyron Woodley, a much better second round for Ago Huskic here.
Yeah, definitely. I think the groin strike was unfortunate, but it actually gave him a chance to reset. He was dipping his head quite a bit to the left, and as you said before, the head kick was there. He did evade it, but I believe that the punches before the kick is what we're missing in this fight and the last fight. It sets you up to really get countered very strongly.
Megan Anderson, Huskic has been the more active striker here, but Braga is landing with precision.
Yeah, he's countering very well, but my only issue with Braga right now is he's not setting anything up, and his head is very stationary on that center line, and he is getting hit way more in this round than he was in the first. Now, that could be to Huskic making those reads and identifying that Braga isn't really backing up and he's pressuring, so he's making those adjustments. But, man, the dipping of the head of Huskic, I am not a fan of, and I don't see that ending well for him if he continues that.
And there he almost eats one to the point. Tim Kennedy, Huskic initiated this clinch position. Is that in his best interest with what we saw in the first round?
Absolutely, and finally he gets the takedown there. You know, I don't know what Braga was doing, letting Huskic come back into this fight. You know, he dominant first round, right into that back position with a body lock, almost finishes with the rear naked, you know, and then he comes back and he's letting Ago come back into the fight. You know, he should do exactly what he's doing now, which is pressure, closing the distance, getting that body lock, finishing the takedown, and then just dominating him on the ground.
Braga on that front headlock position, now to the back of Ago Huskic, who's got a bail to his own back. Take a listen inside the corner of Ago Huskic.
Roll up on his feet, watch your neck. Watch out for the guards. Watch out for the guards. Watch for the guards. Okay? Fight the hands. Fight the hands. Turn into him. Turn it to Ago.
Braga once again floating on top. Right hand coming down. Ago Huskic will try to survive again the final 30 seconds, Kenny.
Yeah, again, he's really getting dominated on the ground. He's eating a lot of shots. He's landing into a lot of these bad positions. That was a beautiful knee to the body.
Was it?
Over here, over here, over here.
It claimed that it landed to the groin there.
Oh.
From our angle, couldn't see that it hit the cup. We'll try and check out a replay.
Over here, over here.
Yeah, right there under the PFL logo on the shorts. I think that one did land south of the border.
caught a piece of it. Yeah, I heard it.
Can't really tell from that angle, Kenny.
Yeah, that
That's
angle
the one
looked
we
like it
kind
went
of
to the
saw.
body. Yeah.
The other angle was a better look at it. I think he did land on the cup, and you can trust the referee to be closer to the action, obviously. Ago Huskic taking all the time he needs here, which, quite honestly, is probably a good strategy given the way this fight was going.
Yeah, he has 5 minutes to be able to recover, and he's going to take most of that. He's still dealing with some serious pain there.
There's his father and sister in the crowd again, offering some advice. Huskic now back to his feet. Mouthpiece goes in. Usually a strong indicator we're about to start.
Okay. Just be careful with it, guys. That's 2 apiece. Here we go. Ready? Time in.
19 final seconds of this second round.
Oh.
Knee attempt there from Braga.
And Ago has an unbelievable chin. He's eaten a lot of shots.
And now Ago with a blitz late. And a big left hand landed for the Bosnian Dragon. In the final seconds of this second frame, we'll see a third round next.
Second round for both these fighters. You saw Braga come out and definitely just show more of the same. He's just a little bit sharper with his strikes. He's got more accurate strikes, a better shot selection, landing those jabs, those crosses, gets the takedown, and you know, ultimately I think won rounds 1 and 2.
We'll take a listen into the Bose fighter corner of Ago Huskic.
I don't care. You're going to knock him out. You finish him. Understand me? You hit him with your left nut. And that brick is there. That brick is there. Put that pressure.
Put that pressure on. Go give him 5 minutes of help.
5 minutes. Finish the fight. This is, you fought way better people.
Here we go, gentlemen. Seconds out. Seconds out.
Asking for Ago Huskic to get active with the left. In the blitz of punches at the end of the second round, it was a left hand that landed. But good movement from Gabriel Braga in the gray shorts there. Huskic back in his southpaw stance. Ooh, good check hook there from Braga. And another.
Oh, nice body kick there by Huskic. Right to the side of the liver.
Goes back to it, and then to the leg.
And some great encouragement there from the corner of Huskic, telling him that we need a knockout. Go out and get it done.
And you can see he's moving forward, but right into that body lock. Braga has had more success in the clinches and the grappling exchanges.
Look for this takedown again. And he gets it.
Braga able to once again upend Ago Huskic. Steps over into the half mount.
Well, here it is. You see Braga in this position. He's in the half guard. You see that leg. That's what's controlling Braga. Braga now inside control. Has that arm triangle position set up here. Got to be careful with that arm coming all the way across. Now it looks like Huskic trying to go for that guillotine.
Braga looking once again to step into the mount position. Huskic able to stave it off, at least for now. Left hands from Braga. And the hammer fists. Take a listen to Braga's
Hold his arm for the
blue
Kimura.
corner.
Yep, that's it. Looking great. That's it. Believe in yourself. Walk it in first. Give it everything. Get out of there. Posture up and give him everything. Looking great. 2.5 minutes ago. 2.5, Gabriel.
More left hands from the top from Gabriel Braga.
Watch your fingers. Watch your
Tyron
fingers.
Woodley, Gabriel Braga's got a pretty well-rounded skill set at 24 years of age.
Definitely, Braga's been controlling the entire fight. The moments that Ago was brought back into the fight, I believe Braga allowed him into the fight. He was always one step ahead, but I do got to give Ago some credit that in the third round, he acknowledged what his corner said in between the second and the third, and he knew he needed to finish. And he did come out with some spunk, and he was trying to get the job done. Now he's in a compromising position, and we'll see if he makes it out.
Megan, only one contract to give away. First winner got an early finish. Does Braga need a finish to get a vote?
Not necessarily. He has showed such a well-rounded game, and even though he might not finish Huskic in that fight, every time he's throwing these ground strikes or ground and pound or he's countering, he's looking to end the fight. Huskic is just too tough for his own good.
Tim Kennedy, can Braga get that finish in the final 75 seconds of this fight?
Husic is so tough. You know, I don't think so. Braga's been dominant this whole entire fight. You know, obviously it looks like a 30-27, 30-26 win. You know, but, you know, to win a contract, I don't know.
Ian Parker, you took the over 2.5 in this fight, and the prop hit.
Yeah, you know what? Husic is just a zombie, and he is so tough. Braga clearly is winning this fight purely out of fury. Also would never disagree with anything Tim Kennedy says, but kudos to Husic for being so tough. Braga's going to get the win. I don't think he's getting the contract tonight, though.
Well, we'll see. The celebrity panel will weigh in later. You, the fans, will have an opportunity to vote. And, of course, 2 more fights after this one to judge performances against. Huskic back to his feet, but very temporarily, Kenny.
Yeah, I mean, Huskic's toughness is just insane, but Braga really has been putting on a masterclass here as far as position. Been all over him. Here he is yet again in the mount. Huskic surviving here like he has throughout the whole fight, but he has taken some serious damage in the process.
The final bell, Braga dismounts. A display of sportsmanship. And barring any major surprises, Gabriel Braga successful in his U.S. debut. An official decision when we return on Fubo Sports. Body kick lands there for Huskic.
Did I tell you guys, or did I tell you guys? An amazing fight that both of these fighters gave us. You saw there the ninja choke attempt in the first round by Braga. Husic was able to recover. And honestly, he tried attacking a guillotine on his own, but the rest of the round was basically dominated and controlled by Braga, using his ground skills, landing good shots, attacking the neck in that first round. You know, he was close to finishing a rear naked at one point, but Ago Husic is just his heart, his technique, and his experience allowed him to basically survive these attempts by Braga in round 1, though he was not able to really escape or land an offense in that first round. This is the closest that Braga came to finishing him. Round 2 was basically more of the same, good exchanges, and Braga definitely just showed that he was sharper. He was more accurate as a striker. His shot selection, his punch selection was just cleaner. He was using his feints well, landing good counter shots. Ago Husic was landing with some power at times, but not consistently enough. And then this was the difference. The takedowns, the groundwork by Braga. He just showed he was a bit more complete tonight as a fighter, a bit more aggressive, and his groundwork looked excellent. He landed excellent ground and pound. This is the 3rd round where Ago Husic was coming out aggressive, looking to land. His corner told him he needed a finish, by knockout in that third round. He wasn't able to get it. And once Braga was able to take the fight back to the mat, it was just more control, more ground and pound. Excellent on the transitions from back mount to half guard, and always punishing shots by Braga.
Welcome back. Let's check out the Air Force Reserve post-fight stats. A lot of strikes thrown by both men. 166 for Braga, 142 for Huskic. See a lot of ground strikes as well from Braga, who was in the mount. And let's check out the post-fight replays here, brought to you by Celsius. Here's that beautiful right hand. Timed that leg kick there, Huskic beautifully. There is Braga taking the back with the body triangle, controlling from that position, attacking with that rear naked choke. Beautiful 1-2. And here's a nice takedown. And Tyron, what'd you think of his ground game?
And definitely, I thought he had a great ground game. He threw that Damian Maia choke from the opposite side. He was constantly one step ahead. He was putting himself in position. Look, the ground and pound, we talked about this earlier. He can throw 10 rabbit punches, or he can throw 3 or 4 that make your head bounce off the canvas, that may get the referee closer to stopping the fight.
All right, Sean O'Connell is in the cage with the official decision. Sean.
After 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. The scores are 30-25, 30-27, and 29-28. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Gabriel Braga. All right, here with the winner, Gabriel Braga. First of all, congratulations. Successful in your American debut. A tough fight. You were dominant. Did you think you were going to get the finish?
Parabéns aí pela vitória. Enfim, vitória aqui na sua primeira luta nos Estados Unidos. Você foi vitória dominante, mas você sentiu que você ia finalizar?
Cara, eu treinei bastante, estudei muito meu oponente, mas ele me surpreendeu aqui, cara. Eu ganhei umas posições que eu achei que ele fosse desistir, que eu fosse conseguir pegar, mas ele é um cara muito duro, cara. E ele valorizou, mas acredito que foi uma luta muito boa para o público e graças a Deus saí com mais uma vitória.
I gotta be honest, I studied a lot of tape on this guy, and he really surprised me. This guy's tough as nails. I capitalized on a lot of important positions there, and I thought I had him, but he just somehow kept coming.
Still undefeated, Gabriel Braga. Kenny Florian, what's next?
Well, coming up, not next, but coming up April 1st from Las Vegas, the regular season of the PFL begins. You'll see that on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Featherweights and light heavyweights going at it. That will be a dandy. And coming up later tonight, Chris Wade will be joining us. And there's Nathan Kelly. He'll be coming up next. We saw him last year with a phenomenal performance. And he'll be taking on Zach Hicks. Ton of experience, both as an amateur and a pro. This should be a great fight. That will be next, right after this.
This is the fight of their lives. 56 elite fighters battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
What a fight. The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive? An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen.
Unbelievable! This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
And again, we are back for this week 6 of the PFL 2023 Challenger Series. Again, tonight, week 6 is the featherweights. We've already awarded 5 contracts thus far in this PFL 2023 Challenger Series. Week 1 was Thad Jean. Week 2, Amanda Levy. Week 3, Abraham Bambley. Week 4, Melvin Espinoza. Week 5, Dirty Desiree Yanez. Who will it be tonight, week 6 in the featherweight division? It's still, we still have 2 fights left, so we still don't know.
Right now, kind of premier, obviously Conor McGregor. We have a lot of good experienced guys here, the likes of Brian Moore, Peter Queally. We have a lot of young up-and-coming talent. I think Conor kind of gave us the light to show we can do it from this nation, so now it's up to us to kind of carry on that flame, and we're here now to prove ourselves.
And Nathan Kelly is fighting this man, Zach Hicks, the wrestler, teacher from the U.S. Going to be an excellent fight. Nathan Kelly from SBG, very intelligent fighter. Does Hicks have enough to break that streak? We shall see. He's got a little bit of a reach advantage, and he is the elder fighter. Nathan Kelly coming and bringing the Irish fighting spirit tonight, looking to win that contract. Says he's ready for anyone in this division. We shall see. Remember, there's 2 fights left. We already have 2 winners and 1 contract for these 4 gentlemen. On this week 6, live from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. We thank you for joining us internationally for this 2023 PFL Challenger Series Week 6, the men's featherweights. The beautiful city of Orlando, Florida. The Universal Studios are home for the PFL Challenger Series. 2 fights left. Stay tuned for more action in the featherweight division.
Sean O'Connell, Kenny Florian, PFL Challenger Series on Fubo Sports. 2 Challenger Series fights in the books. Regular season about to come. And this man will be part of that PFL regular season. Chris Wade, perennial contender here. Both the lightweight. He started at lightweight. Now he's at featherweight. Chris Wade, welcome. 5 years you've been part of this PFL organization.
5 years. It's wild, but I've loved every season of it. We keep growing, and I love to see it. So I'm just really, really happy to be back in the mix and vying for another title.
You know, Chris, I know exactly what you're doing here. These featherweights are trying to earn a spot in the featherweight regular season. You're just here scouting potential future opponents. Don't pretend it's anything else, pal.
It's not bad to watch them scraps at my weight. I kind of like it. I watched the end of that last one. Now I'm going to catch this one. It is good to eye him up.
We'll keep Chris Wade in the fold. Let's get to our next bout. This fight brought to you by Just for Men, One Day Beard and Brow Color. Nathan Kelly, Zach Hicks. 3 5-minute rounds of 145-pound professional mixed martial arts action. Challenger Series fighters introduce themselves, courtesy of Puncher's Chance, Kentucky Bourbon.
Fighting out of Nashville, Tennessee with a record of 8-4. Zach Hicks. Tyron Woodley watching me, he's a legend. I remember him from his wrestling days at Missouri, all the way up to his UFC championships. To have a guy like that critiquing me and just watching me fight is a dream come true, honestly. Just to be in his vision and him, see what I do, and it's just, I never could imagine it before this.
All right, Tyron Woodley, does the flattery work? Is that going to get your vote, Tyron?
It definitely keeps you fighting. When you hear people talk like that, that makes you want to keep pushing, keep fighting and doing what you're doing because you're reaching people. So his action is going to have to speak for that vote, though. So I'm going to watch closer. I'm going to give him a little bit more extra eyeballs on it. But if he doesn't show me, he doesn't show me. But if he does, he does.
There's Zach Hicks, high school teacher Right now, though, professional mixed martial artist, 5 submissions, so maybe trying to get this one to the ground. We'll see. And fighting out of the red corner.
Fighting out of Dublin, Ireland with a record of 6-2. The fighting pride of the north side, Nathan Kelly. Yeah, the Dublin personality, it's real, I don't know, because we're city boys and we have the fast moving life, you know what I mean? I think we're all a bit, we're wired differently in our head. I obviously think Irish people have charisma about them anyway, but I just think us Dubs, we're just wired different to the rest of the Irish folks. That's what gives us our personality, that's what gives us our charisma, and it makes us, there's nothing wrong with having a screw loose here and there, you know what I mean, if you use it for the right reasons. So we're just wired a bit differently than the rest of the Irish, definitely.
I agree strongly with Nathan Kelly that Irish people do have a certain charisma.
Oh, man, I don't know about that.
Big time favorite in this fight, Nathan Kelly, the fighting pride of the north side. 3 knockouts, 2 submissions in his 6 MMA victories. All 6 of those have come consecutively, by the way. Tail of the tape brought to you by Just for Men, One Day Beard and Brow Color. Zach Hicks is 33 years of age. That makes him 8 years older than Nathan Kelly. Both men 5'8" and weighed in on the dot at 145. 2-inch reach advantage on the arms and 1 on the legs, favoring Zach Hicks, the American. Josh Rutgers to oversee the action.
You ready?
Our second to the last bout of the evening. We get 2 winners down. Who will win this one and put themselves in the running for a PFL contract? Nathan Kelly in the black trunks, Zach Hicks in the gray. Kenny, is this a classic striker versus grappler fight? Is that how it's going to play out?
I don't think so. Nathan Kelly showed that he can really strike at a high level in his last fight. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, though. That's really where he started. His first love was with Jiu-Jitsu, so he can grapple. And, of course, Zach Hicks can wrestle very well as well. So this should be a fight that really will take place everywhere.
Feeling out process so far with over 30 seconds gone. Chris Wade, you're known to literally sprint across the smart cage, flying kicks, some knees. Is this too slow of a start for you?
I mean, for me personally, it's a little too slow of a start. If I come out this slow, no strikes in the first minute, then I know I'm off to a bad start. I need to go quick, personally, but some guys like to start slow. Everybody's different.
Kelly now pressing Hicks up against the cage. Over under here. Megan Anderson, we're chest to chest. A little chess match here. What do you think?
I mean, a very impressive takedown there by Kelly. He utilized the position, and when Hicks opened up his hands from that over-under position, he was really able to utilize that particular moment. But I'm interested to see what he does on the ground here, if he looks to finish, if he's going to go for some submissions or some ground and pounds. Very interested to see how he approaches this ground game, considering Hicks is generally more of the wrestler of the two.
Yeah, a place that wrestler never wants to be is on his back. He's also being pressed up against the cage. Kelly's sliding the parallel to it. This is obviously not a great position to be, but Kelly's doing all the right things, and Hicks is just kind of going in deeper and deeper waters. It's looking awesome. Awesome for Kelly. It's not looking good here for Hicks. He's needs to get off his back.
Tyron Woodley, your big fan, is right now fully mounted with this arm triangle choke, and there's the tap! Halfway through round number 1, Nathan Kelly, submission victory.
I mean, flawless victory right there from the Irishman, Nathan Kelly. My goodness. I don't think he took a shot. I don't think he made a mistake. Brilliant stuff.
Nathan Kelly, dominant performance. Took him half a round to dispatch Zach Hicks. We'll make this one official and talk to the winner when we return to Challenger Series action on Fubo Sports.
Well, we get to recap the whole fight since it didn't go into the second round. You saw him defend a takedown, turn it around on his opponent, Zach Hicks here gets the transition from the side mount to the mount and then isolates that elbow, puts it up and over his opponent's head, locks it up real quick. Lots of pressure here in the first round. He was still fresh. Gets the first round submission. Nathan Kelly from SBG Ireland with his second victory inside the PFL cage. Will it be enough for him to get the contract? Again, we've already awarded 5 thus far. Bad Gene, Amanda Levy, Abraham Badley, Elvin Espinoza, Dirty Desiree Yanez. Could Nathan Kelly be the next? Again, don't forget that you guys have a vote. Plenty of talent. Again, we have one more fight left tonight. The main event, Brian Searcher squaring off against David Evans. And then next week, the light heavyweight division, March 10th, the greatest day of the calendar year, March 10th. Very important day in the history of the world. Again, we are just waiting for this official announcement for the first round submission victory by arm triangle by the Irishman from SBG Ireland. Straight out of Dublin, Nathan Kelly. I wish I had a good Irish accent like Sean O'Connell. I do not, sadly. Again, there's still one more fight left tonight in this night of the featherweights. Who will win the contract? Will it be James Gonzalez, Gabriel Braga, Nathan Kelly, or the winner of the final fight?
Take down stray grays and beef up patchy areas with Just for Men's new one-day beard and brow color. Scan that QR code right there to learn more about this temporary gray fighter that stays put till you wash it out. Just for Men, the official beard color brand of the PFL. And don't forget, fight fans, you can watch the PFL and much more on Fubo. Over 100 live channels of sports, incredible shows for half the cost of cable. Watch 7 days for free. Sign up at FuboTV.com/PFL. That's FUBOTV.com/PFL. There is the Ready for More prep point brought to you by the United States Air Force Reserve. Brian Searcher getting himself ready, one half of our main event tonight.
All right, let's check out the Air Force Reserve post-fight stats. Really, a lot of the action took place on the mat. You see 9 total strikes for Nathan Kelly. That's what set up that beautiful submission from the mount. Just a really clean performance. You see no strikes taken there from Nathan Kelly. And let's check out the Celsius post-fight replay. They're in that over-under position. It was Kelly who hit that takedown. Tyron went right into side control, and Tyron really took over from there.
When we look at this, he did a body sag. He stepped to the side. He was explosive to his transitions. He didn't waste time. Some of the other fights prior to this, they were kind of lagging to that position. He got there. He dominated. He saw his opportunity, and he went right to the Darce choke, locked it in tight, and he snatched it really quickly, and he put it on, and he knew it was time. He looked at the fights before and said, you know what, I want to go out there. I want to make a statement, and look what he did right there. The tap came quick. Here we go again. As you look, he's got his head down. He really relaxed and sunk his shoulder in first. Now he's sinking the choke in right there. I know the choke very well. Pop, pop, pop. Got the tap.
Yeah, just a beautiful arm triangle submission. I think your green suit may have given him a little good luck there, Tyron.
A little inspiration.
And there's Chris Wade. Chris Wade giving a little ooh and ah. You impressed Chris Wade. That's not easy. Sean O'Connell.
Referee Josh Rutgers calls it into this match, 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by arm triangle choke, Nathan Kelly. All right, Nathan Kelly, 7 wins in a row now. That one halfway through the first round, dominant performance. How confident are you feeling in this moment?
Yeah, feeling very confident. I'm working so hard. Like, there's no reason why I shouldn't be feeling this way, considering how hard I work on. I work my bollocks off every single day. I push it every single day. I'm disciplined every single day. I turn up every single day. So I deserve the results I'm getting in my eyes. So I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm back at the gym next week. I'm back at it again for the next one, whenever that may be. So coming for 8 in a row and making another statement one step at a time, one step closer to that $1 million every time I fight. So that's what I'm looking to do.
All right, let's hear what our celebrity panel thought of that impressive performance. First, joining us remotely, Tim Kennedy. What'd you think, Tim?
Nathan Kelly, that was an incredible performance. You know, nearly flawless. Great takedown, that head and arm choke, tight. You knew exactly what you're doing. You knew exactly where you wanted to go. Putting the wrestler on his back, flawless performance.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, Tyron Woodley.
Well, definitely early on, we saw you walking him down and stalking him. He was feigning a lot. You really didn't bite. You really didn't react. You got into that over-under hook. You did that step to the side. And let me correct. I said it was a dart choke. It was a head and arm triangle. But I saw you really dominating, getting to a position and locking it down. You may want to think about a T-shirt call every single day. You're welcome. I want 10% of that.
Appreciate that.
All right, Megan Anderson. Was that impressive for you?
Very impressive. Like, after watching you coming into this week, I was expecting you to come out really strong, but you were patient, calm, collected, no wasted energy, no wasted movements. You just showcased a whole evolution to your game. Very impressive.
Well, look, you're trying to earn a featherweight contract, and a featherweight contender already on our regular season roster. Chris Wade watched the fight. Chris Wade, what did you think? Is that the kind of performance that impresses you, who might be a future opponent?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a dominant performance. I love to see him taking it to the wrestler, taking him down, right to mount and right to the finish. So, I mean, I've only seen 2 scraps tonight, but that one's got my nod right now.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, Nathan Kelly, 7 wins in a row. Kenny Florian?
Oh, man, we've had some great finishes. Perhaps we have another one here in the main event. Brian Zurcher. We've seen him a couple times here in the PFL. He'll be taking on David Evans. Comes from a wrestling background. He can strike as well. That is coming up next.
This is the fight of their lives. 56 elite fighters battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
What a fight. The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive? An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen.
This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
Again, we are coming to you live from the Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, the home of our 2023 PFL Challenger Series. As you can see the schedule on the screen, we've already awarded 5 contracts thus far this season. The winner of week 1, the welterweight Thad Jean. Women's featherweight winner Amanda Levy. Heavyweight, the Brit Abraham Babley. Elvin Espinoza took it for the lightweights last week. The women's flyweight winner, Dirty Des Yanes. And again, coming up next, the main event of tonight, Brian Sarcher from Mexico squares off against David Evans from the United States. Definitely something to look forward to.
My name is Brian David Zurcher Velasco. I'm 26 years old, and I was born in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico.
And again, he is squaring off against this gentleman, David Evans. This man has trained with the likes of Anthony Pettis. He's trained with the likes of Tyron Woodley, of Dean Thomas. Tons of experience. He's a guy that's looking to make a statement and leave his mark on this division. Again, the main event tonight, Brian Searcher from Mexico squares off against David Evans. Here's the tail of the tape. Brian Searcher. This will be the third time we see him in the PFL cage. This will be the first time for David Evans. Both are experienced, and I'm expecting an excellent main event fight tonight by these two gentlemen. And again, one of the 4 winners of tonight's fight will win the contract here tonight from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. The PFL 2023 Challenger Series. We want to thank you for following the fights with us internationally. Don't forget to cast your vote. Plenty of fighting left still. The main event tonight. Next week we come back with the lightweights, and then March 17th, the final week of the series for the second chance fights.
Remember, here in the Challenger Series, you the fans have a say. Participate in the Bud Light fan vote at the end of the night, and you help determine who wins a PFL contract. Later tonight, you go to pflmma.com/vote and cast your vote on who should win a PFL contract. Or you can scan the QR code that you see on your screen when we open the voting. Our final bout of the night here in the Featherweight Challenger Series. Brian Searcher taking on David Evans. Brought to you by the United States Air Force Reserve. Not only our main event and final fight, but this is the final leg of Ian Parker's parlay. Ian, 2 for 3 so far.
Yeah, Sean, you know what? Started off really good with James Gonzalez, and Nathan Kelly just put on an absolute unbelievable performance. Hit the over 2.5 with Usyk and Braga. Let's close it out with Searcher as the underdog here. Let's catch that parlay for tonight.
Our fighters introduce themselves on the Challenger Series, courtesy of Puncher's Chance Kentucky Bourbon. Here's the blue corner.
Fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri with a 5-1 record, David Evans. I approach every fight the same. There are no big fights. Every fight is just as important as the last one. My first fight in the cage when I made my amateur debut is just as important as this one. It's not lost on me how big the stage is, but it's just an opportunity for me to rise to the occasion.
David Evans started his MMA journey walking into Tyron Woodley's gym. He's now 5-1 as a pro, looking to make a name for himself, and the favorite in this fight. And there is the red corner, excuse me.
And now presenting the undefeated fighter from Carretaderas, Nayarit, Mexico, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, with a record of 4-0, Brian Searcher. I'm coming out with my hands raised. There is someone that is trying to break into my house. You know, PFL is my house, and I'm here to stay, and he's not gonna come and try to take everything that I've been working for, so I'm just defending my house. What do you do when someone is trying to break into your house? You beat him up, and that's what I'm doing this weekend.
There's the Searcher family, all made the trip to support Brian. And there he is, undefeated in his young mixed martial arts career. 2 submissions so far in 4 pro bouts. He is an underdog, but Ian Parker likes him on the pick. Our tail of the tape is brought to you by the United States Air Force Reserve. Brian Searcher is 26, David Evans 3 years older at 29. It is Searcher who is an inch taller, weighs 1 pound more. Both men have a 70-inch reach on the arms, 2-inch reach advantage favoring the fighter from Mexico, Brian Zorcher, on the legs. Andrew Glenn, our referee for this final bout of the featherweight evening. Touch of the gloves. Zorcher in the black, Evans in the gray. And Kenny Florin, we say it every time when I get to this final bout of the evening. You just saw Nathan Kelly take less than half a round to finish his opponent. Does that change the dynamic in this fight?
I think it does. You see that low blow there from Zorcher, landed right on the cup of Evans. But absolutely, I think it absolutely is motivating. You're seeing your competition go before you, and you realize you're going to have to step up your game. Here's that front kick. He was trying to attack the midsection of Evans, went a little bit too low there. Evans was actually raising his leg. And that actually landed, I think the heel on the way down may have caught him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the unfortunate happenstances of those front kicks. But we're back to the action here. Both men trying to stay long early.
Oh.
Evans grabbed at the cup again. Zorcher was not told to stop, so he didn't. A couple of times now we've seen Brian attacking the low calf of David Evans on that lead leg. Nice with the off balance there.
Yeah, nicely timed jab there by Evans, but Zorcher continuing to attack the body there with kicks.
More work on the lead leg and a long jab from Evans.
Yeah, Evans looks like he definitely has the speed advantage, but Zorcher might have the power advantage.
That front kick keeps coming in, and now they're swinging away. Zorcher landed a couple right hands. Evans grabs a hold potentially to get himself out of trouble there, Kenny.
Yeah, Evans wasn't moving his feet, got caught up against the cage, was getting sandwiched between punches in the cage. That's never good. Decided to mix things up and go for the clinch, but they are trading here.
They're swinging away.
And Zorcher continues to attack the body. Don't be surprised if he switches things up and goes upstairs with a kick, because you're seeing the grimaces and pain on the face of David Evans after each and every kick to the body.
He catches that one. Evans staying aggressive. Zorcher's able to get himself back to his feet as the family looks on. All right, Tyron Woodley, you know David Evans from early in his career. Is this the kind of skill set you expected from him?
Definitely, you know, he's really good at slipping punches. He's really good at actually countering right now. His opponent has, I would say, has a power advantage, but when you look at the quickness and you look at the power, they're having a war of that. That's the chess match that's being played right now. A lot of kicks are being thrown, as you see right now, and is David going to drop his right hand due to the left body kick being thrown at him consistently? Is Brian going to consistently take the jabs to the head and to the body? They're playing a chess match right now, but we're getting a great show and a great fight.
Megan Anderson, we're starting to see some damage on the lead leg of David Evans. Is Zorcher attacking the right way with those kicks?
Yeah, particularly when you're coming up a guy who does happen to have some wrestling background. Going to the calf and attacking the body is going to pay dividends later on in the fight if it goes that long. That penetration shot for the takedown isn't going to be as powerful because the stability of that leg is compromised. So Zorcher doing a really good job playing a patient game, but also constantly moving forward, constantly looking to finish the fight, and he's looking very impressive so far.
Landed a couple left hands in there as well, Kenny Florin. And Tim Kennedy, what do you like so far?
Man, the versatility and variety that Berge has been throwing all these strikes from, you know, the body kicks, the calf kicks, going high. It's hard to adjust. It's hard to settle in when somebody's attacking you from every single angle. Now we got a takedown. Like this is a great first round.
Brian Zorcher gets the takedown, steps right across the guard, passes halfway. Yeah, David Evans flat, shoulders on the mat.
Yeah, sorry, Sean. Zorcher just relentless, continues to press forward. And, you know, this may come down to conditioning. You know, this is a crazy pace. We've seen Zorcher in some barn burners here in the PFL. We don't see him get tired. This is going to be a test for Evans, no question about it.
Kenny, if you remember, the last time we saw Zorcher in a Challenger Series cage last year. He took on a wrestler and out-wrestled him.
Yeah.
He beat up a very tough Scotty Stockman, and then we saw him in a showcase bout during our PFL playoffs, wins a decision over Ricardo Jimenez. He's trying to prove that this third opportunity is the magic one that gets him a contract.
Absolutely, and every time we see him, there's always a new wrinkle to his game. Always improving, getting better all the time, throwing a lot of volume here in round one, Sean.
Zorcher incredibly motivated. He's told us many times he wants to get a contract so his mom doesn't have to work so much. He's putting in work, and we will see it again in the second round.
Excellent first round by the Mexican Brian Zorcher, who starts it off landing big kicks to the body, front kicks. Definitely showing some wear and tear there from the kicks. His opponent, who looks to tie him up, take him down, David Evans. He's definitely a hard guy, but hard to put away. Zorcher in control, gets the takedown, and wins the first round.
We'll take a listen inside the Bose Fighter corner of David Evans.
Over this round, you got to lead the dance.
I need you damn near doing the splits if he gets that double leg position again, all right? We don't accept bottom.
Where we from, David? St. Louis, right? Show this man that shit.
You heard from the corner there, St. Louis. David Evans, a proud resident and representative of St. Louis, Missouri. Brian Zorcher, equally proud of his Mexican roots. Brittany tells us it's round number 2. Zorcher in the black, Evans in the gray. And Zorcher goes back to work on the lead leg. And there's a big left hand and right to the body again.
Yeah, and one thing to watch for, the outside of the right ankle of Zorcher seemed to be bothering him as he was sitting on his stool. He was talking to his corner about that. Well, doesn't really matter, though. He's throwing it anyway.
Well, if you land those kicks with the shin, you don't have to worry about how they feel with the ankle, and that's how that one landed. The left hand continuing to seek its target for Brian Zorcher.
And Evans dealing with some serious bruising on the outside of his left calf as well. You see the front of that shin and calf really marked up.
That was a big swing, and thankfully for Evans, a miss from Zorcher. Good head movement from the American.
Yeah, Evans is moving that head way better now. Also looking to target the head of Zorcher with that right hand.
Countered the knee attempt there with an overhand right of his own. And now Zorcher with the right. Excellent back and forth, and a great timing on the takedown there from Zorcher, right into side control.
Yeah, beautiful way of mixing it up there from Zorcher. He's just shown a little bit more versatility here in this fight. Evans was landing some shots. Zorcher able to fire back now on the back, trying to lock in that rear naked choke. Doesn't have that arm underneath the neck quite yet.
He's squeezing hard and cranking on the chin, and there's the tap! Brian Zorcher, submission in the second round, remains undefeated.
Yep, doesn't have to be underneath the chin in order to get the finish. It can turn into a crank. And that was enough pressure for Evans to say, I'm good, I'm out of here. What a performance here from Zorcher.
And the family understandably jubilant as Brian Zorcher once again, third time in a row here inside the PFL.
Very impressive.
We'll make it official and speak with our winner. We've got 4 winners now, but only 1 contract to give away. All of that still to come right here on Fubo Sports with the PFL Challenger Series in Orlando, Florida.
Again, we're going to take another look at this fight. Here you see the takedown, the timing that we saw from Brian Zorcher in this second round. The transition to the back. He locks up that rear naked. And what else can we say? What we've seen, the evolution in the PFL cage of Brian Zorcher, who continues to show improvements every time we see him. His shot selection tonight, his transitions on the mat, his timing for his wrestling, definitely showing a very, very high fight IQ. But will it be enough to win that contract? Again, there is still time for you guys to vote on one of these 4 gentlemen who will be looking to get that PFL contract tonight, this week 6 of the PFL 2023 Challenger Series, live from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. Will it be Brian Sorcher, the Mexican fighting out of Las Vegas? Will it be the Irishman, Nathan Kelly, fighting out of SBG in Dublin, Ireland? Will it be the Brazilian, Gabriel Braga, or the Mexican fighting out of New York, James Gonzalez? Again, all of these fights, all of these fighters, I love the technique, the maturity that I saw tonight. Excellent decision-making inside the cage. We will be obviously happy to have any of them. And thus far, we've already had 5 contracts awarded. Thad Jean for the men's welterweights. Amanda Levy from the women's featherweights.
PFL more on Fubo. Get over 100 live channels of sports and the best shows in entertainment for half the cost of cable. Watch 7 days free. Sign up at FuboTV.com/PFL. That's FUBOTV.com/PFL.
All right, let's check out the Air Force Reserve post-fight stats. There was a lot of action here in a little over a round. 102 total strikes thrown by Brian Zurcher. 59 thrown for David Evans. And let's check out the Celsius post-fight replays. You see Zurcher really working on that lead leg of Evans, trying to slow him down. Did some great kicks to the body. There's a nice flurry backing up Evans. Evans returns with a nice right hand. Some great exchanges from both men there.
Here we go, guys. Here we go.
Excellent combination again. Nice level change, Tyron.
The thing I like about Zurcher, he really showed he had every tool in the toolbox. When it was time to go for the takedown, he went for the takedown. When it's time to throw the power strike, he threw that. He threw teep kicks to the body, head kicks, outside kicks. So he kept David questioning every time. Right now, he already knew what time it was. He knew it was time to go for the choke. This is more of a body crank. If you look at the left side of David's body and his head, he's separating them one side to one side, other side to the other. And that's what really kind of bowled him out and made him want to tap right there. But he really put together a well-rounded game plan and did great.
Yeah, absolutely, Tyron. You could definitely crank the spine there, crank the neck. Excellent finish. And Sean O'Connell has the official result. Sean.
Referee Andrew Glenn calls a halt to this bout 1 minute and 37 seconds into the second round. Declaring your winner by rear naked choke, Brian Zurcher. All right, Brian Zurcher. We've seen you twice before, third time. I know you've been working hard. Your goal, as you've told us, is to win a contract so your mom doesn't have to work so much anymore. Is this the performance that secured that contract, do you think?
If it doesn't, I don't know what they need from me, you know? I think I deserve a contract, but if it's not, I trust Sefo, I trust the company, I trust my coaches. They know what they're doing. No pressure on nobody. I just came to do my job. My job is win fights, and that's what I did.
We saw after the first round, it looked like maybe there was a problem with your right ankle. Did you know you had to finish this fight on the ground in the second because of that?
No, it was hurt. I went to my corner, and I told him, hey, my ankle's hurt. And but no, I kept kicking. I kept doing what I do, you know, but we've been working a lot. People think Mexicans can grapple, you know, but I've been going to Extreme. I've been going to Extreme Couture. I've been working with Dennis Davis. I've been working with Brandon Moreno, Easy Wrestling, Hector Vasquez. You know, we do everything. And I knew I had the tools. I can grapple. I can take someone down and finish him. But no, definitely my foot is hurt a little bit. I don't know how bad, but I could keep kicking no matter what.
All right, let's hear what our celebrity panel thought of your performance. Stay right here. Tim Kennedy joining us remotely. Tim, An impressive performance.
Zerche, yeah, man, very impressive. I love the variety and versatility that you were attacking. Your kicks, your strikes, your level changes. You were just doing everything at the right moment. You're also tough, you know, and Mexicans can do jiu-jitsu and wrestle. So, yeah, it was great to watch you fight.
Thank you.
All right, Tyron Woodley, what'd you like about this performance?
You know, Brian, you said something about your tools, and I wrote a note about that. Just because someone has all the tools doesn't mean they know when to use them and how to use them. You had power, you knew when to use that. You knew when the time to take down properly. You knew when to flurry. You knew which kick to throw at what time. You kept the guessing game going the entire time, and you got an opportunity to finish. You knew which the assignment was. You got the job done. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tyron. Thanks a lot.
Megan Anderson, what stood out most about this win for you?
I think it was just how well-rounded of a game that you brought today. You pushed the pace, but you were very controlled with the way you do that. The kicks paid off, the teeps paid off, the timing on those takedowns, beautiful. You put on an absolute performance, very impressive.
Thank you, Megan. I'm a big fan of you.
Thank you.
Still undefeated, Brian Zurcher. But he is not the only one to win inside the PFL Challenger Series cage tonight. So let's go back and let's look at the other highlights, starting with our first fight of the evening. Vikas Singh Ruhil and James Gonzalez. James Gonzalez comes out swinging, lands a knee here. And then an interesting moment in this fight. Singh Ruhil starts a good combination, but that right hand drops our first PFL fighter representing the nation of India, and right into the mount goes Gonzalez. Pounds out a victory in round number 1. The Alley Cat wins. Brian Zurcher talking to President of Fighter Operations, Ray Sefo. All right, our judges, you saw the highlights there. What did you think of James Gonzalez's performance? You got to jog the memory, go all the way back. Tim Kennedy, that first finish, how does it stack up with the other wins tonight?
Man, it's, you know, when you got 4 fights and 4 winners, being required to pick the best of 4 winners, it's tough, you know. James Gonzalez, he was tough. He came out there, that counter strike, putting him down, immediately moving into a mount position. Like, there's a lot of wisdom there, and there's a lot of great execution of a fight plan. You know, like, in those moments, doing the right thing really matters. A lot of people rush it, but he did the right thing. Caught a guy making a mistake, moved into mount, and then finished the fight.
Megan Anderson, you saw the efficiency there. Is that enough to get your vote?
I mean, like Tim said, this is a very tough roster of winners to be able to pick from, but Gonzalez was very impressive. No wasted energy, no wasted movements, and he really put a stamp for the first fight of the night.
Tyron Woodley, he took a few punches, and then he landed the big one, coming back from a teeny bit of adversity. What does that say about a fighter?
I mean, the intangible for me is he had the opportunity to shell up and accept those punches, and he decided that, you know what, I'm coming off this cage swinging, and that's the takeaway that I have from that fight.
All right, just to refresh everyone's memory, let's take a look at our second bout of the night. Ago Huskic taking on Gabriel Braga. Braga still undefeated. He started as a sniper, and then he grappled his way into dominant positions in every single round of this fight. Gabriel Braga kept laying on the punishment. You saw the hammer fist. You saw the ground and pound, the hooks from the top. For every counter Huskic had, Braga had an answer. This one went to the judges' scorecards. A unanimous decision, a dominant decision for Gabriel Braga. And we go back for the judge's opinion on this one. Tim Kennedy, it wasn't a finish, but sometimes when you have a little bit longer, you get the greater sample size of those skills. Didn't look like there was a weakness in Gabriel Braga's game.
No, it really didn't. You know, I think you have to take opponent into consideration. You know, with Braga, Husic looked very, very tough. You know, with Gonzalez, Ruhil was a little bit outmatched. So just because there was a decision here, I don't think it takes him out of the running or consideration for winning that contract. It was a great performance. He made almost no mistakes whatsoever.
Megan Anderson, that's a great point. When we know so much about Ago Huskic's toughness, overcoming that, what does it say about Gabriel Braga?
He showed, for somebody who was just 24 years old, the fact that he is so well-rounded and put together as a martial artist, very impressive. He put it all together, looked great doing it, and I mean, Huskic is just so incredibly tough, so getting that finish would have been nice, but I don't think it discounts him in the running for that contract.
Tyron Woodley, I think it is 4 of our 5 contract winners previously have been undefeated fighters. Braga is still undefeated. Does that become a factor in the decision-making here?
You know, when we're watching these fights, it's the nature of what's at stake. It's a contract. It's not just a fight. It's not just a win. And I feel like the moments where his opponent, Ago, got back into the fight is because he allowed him. Every other moment, he was a step ahead. He was showing that he was a great chess player. He was always dominating every position. So it's easy to critique, but I feel like he showed a very, very dominant, well-rounded game.
All right, so that's 2 of our winners. Now let's take a look at Nathan Kelly versus Zach Hicks. This wasn't so long ago, and this fight didn't take long. Nathan Kelly, the Irishman, with the trip, the takedown, straight into the mount here against the wrestler, puts a wrestler on his back. As soon as Zach Hicks lifts up that left arm and gives him an opportunity, Kelly pounces on the arm triangle submission. A quick tap, and Nathan Kelly makes it 7 wins in a row. Tim Kennedy, I know you love a good submission game. Was that enough to impress you?
It was enough to impress me. I was impressed. Again, you have to take the opponent into consideration. You know, and with Hicks, he's a talented grappler. Most of his wins are by submission, and being able to dominate him on the mount. On the ground like that, moving him out so effortlessly, getting that head and arm choke, you know, Kelly did impress.
Tim Kennedy's allowed to yawn, by the way, because he's joining us overseas, and it is very late where Tim Kennedy is in the world. So, Tim, appreciate you sticking around with us. Tyron Woodley, Nathan Kelly, he's been impressive from what we've seen so far inside the PFL.
You know, definitely his opponent was giving him a lot of feints. And I felt like because he didn't jump out of his skin, it really discouraged his opponent. And he walked him down comfortably and confidently. And he got to the takedown against someone that's a known grappler. And he just, some people's jiu-jitsu game is not a spinning all over the place, leg locks. It was kind of a zip tie. He got that space. He never gave it back. When he got an opportunity, he locked it in. And the tap is inevitable. So I thought he did a great job, and he really showed poise.
Megan Anderson, where some of the fights tonight have been back and forth, Nathan Kelly got the advantage, didn't give up an inch after that, didn't allow his opponent any opportunities in this fight.
No, very impressive. No wasted energy, no wasted movements from the first start of this fight to the submission. He was very impressive and showcased such a high level of his game.
All right, 3 winners will all join Brian Zorcher, who, of course, was just inside the cage here with another win that kept that Mexican fighter undefeated, and his whole family is here making some noise. There's Nathan Kelly. He'll be joined by our 2 other winners right behind him, Gabriel Braga, James Gonzalez. Winners are great, but this is about handing out a contract. We will narrow our 4 winners down to 2 finalists when we come back on Fubo Sports. Try to survive.
Again, excellent night of fights. 4 fights, 3 finishes. Here is the first fight. As you can see, the Alley Cat, James Gonzalez, gets the win. And then in the second fight, you saw the Brazilian prospect, Gabriel Braga, with intelligent decision-making here. Nathan Kelly, the Irishman, gets the takedown and the quick first-round submission via arm triangle from the mount. Excellent positioning, excellent control. very efficient in his movement. This SBG Ireland fighter, Nathan Kelly. And lastly, the Mexican fighter, Brian Sorcher, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, showing a little bit of everything in that fight. Excellent stand-up technique, excellent transitions, great groundwork, getting that submission victory in the second round.
All right, welcome back, PFL fight fans. Challenger Series action in the featherweight division. 4 winners inside of the cage. We will narrow that down to 2 finalists. But first, a word from the president of fighter operations, the legendary Ray Cefa.
Thank you, Sean. Gentlemen, congratulations. Great fights. I mean, that's the kind of main event we want to see. So congratulations. Obviously, there's one contract. Good luck to you guys. God bless.
And now we cut our 4 winners down to 2 finalists. When I call your name, please step forward. Nathan Kelly, please step forward. Brian Sorcher, please step forward. Mr. Braga, Mr. Gonzalez, thank you, congratulations. You may exit the cage. All right, so how do we get to these 2 finalists? Let's take a look at our Redcon 1 highlight package. But first, the Bud Light fan vote is open. Go to pflmma.com/vote, or you can scan the QR code in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen and cast your vote. You, the fans, actually have a say in who wins a contract, courtesy of our Bud Light fan vote. Go vote right now. You see those percentages changing live right before your eyes. Get your votes in. Nathan Kelly or Brian Sorcher, the Bud Light fan vote is active now, but it won't stay active for long. And just to refresh your memory on who deserves your vote, our Redcon 1 highlight package for Nathan Kelly. Kelly versus Zach Hicks. An impressive grappling from the Irishman. Gets the American wrestler right to his back, cinches in the arm triangle, squeezes, and a quick tap. Half a round it took for Nathan Kelly. Bud Light fan vote is still live. You can see the percentages. And what about Brian Sorcher? Redcon 1 highlight package for the proud representative of Nayarit, Mexico. Brian Sorcher, David Evans squaring off. We called it a rear naked choke, but really it's just a crank, hard squeeze on the chin, elicits the tap, and Brian Sorcher remains undefeated. The Bud Light fan vote is still live, and you can see how close the margin is. Scan the QR code at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, cast your vote, or go to pflmma.com/vote. That will only stay live for a couple more minutes. You have a say in who actually wins a PFL contract. Of course, the other half of that equation is our celebrity panel casts a vote. Who deserves a contract? We will hear from Tim Kennedy, Tyron Woodley, and Megan Anderson when we return to Fubo Sports and Challenger Series.
This is the fight of their lives. 56 elite fighters battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
What a fight. The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive? An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen.
Unbelievable! This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
And again, we are live for this 2023 PFL Challenger Series for Week 6, the featherweights from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, our home for the PFL Challenger Series. We have already awarded 5 contracts thus far in this 2023 Challenger Series season. Again, 8 fighters fight in 4 fights each week. 1 contract is awarded. The 4 winners are eligible to win the contract. PFL selects the 2 finalists. Then the celebrity panel and you, the fans, get to pick the winner. Now, if the celebrity panel and the fan vote is unanimous, that person gets the contract. If not, Ray Sefo, of course, is the tie-breaking vote. And here we take a look at Thad Jean, the winner of Week 1. Amanda Levy, Week 2. Abraham Babley, Week 3. Again, more action from everyone here in the previous 5 weeks. Dirty Des Yanes there on screen. Abraham Babley getting it done for the heavyweights. Tons of action. And again, 1 more contract will be awarded tonight. Again, we are coming to you live from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. Tonight, the featherweight action will be the winner. Well, we've had plenty of winners tonight. Will it be Nathan Kelly, the Irishman from Dublin, Ireland, SBG Ireland, or will it be the Mexican Brian Sorcher? And again, we are back next week, March 10th, for the light heavyweights. And our final week will be March 17th for the second chance opportunity for some of these fighters. Again, there's still time for you to cast your vote. Tonight, will it be the Irishman Nathan Kelly or the Mexican Brian Sorcher?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. PFL Challenger Series action on Fubo Sports. I am Sean O'Connell. 2 finalists inside the cage here, Nathan Kelly, Brian Sorcher, but only 1 featherweight contract to hand out. The Bud Light fan vote, you've been casting your vote, but our celebrity panel has a say as well, and Kenny Florian is standing by with Tim Kennedy, Tyron Woodley, and Megan Anderson. Kenny?
Sean, thank you. Tim Kennedy, I want to start with you. What were some of the things that you liked and saw from these 2 finalists?
Yeah, I mean, first, what incredible fighters. You know, there's such talent and bright futures ahead of them. I can't wait to see where their careers go. You know, with Kelly, nearly a perfect performance. You know, took very little risk, was able to do exactly what he wanted to do. Quick trip, moved into a dominant position, that head and arm choke. And then with Zerche, man, he just went after him. There's a bulldog in there, that pit bull that just wanted to get that finish. That was a very exciting fight. Very close, very tough to choose.
And Tyron, what about you? What were a couple of things that stood out for both these fighters?
You know, the thing about me, Zach, I looked at your record. You started out losing your first 2 fights. You could have quit at that moment in time, and then you went on a 6-fight win streak. And it just shows me the resilience of you as a fighter, as someone that's competing. When I look at Zercher, I know David, he's very elusive, he's hard to hit. You have power, you have all the tools. You did a great job of using them when it was time to use them. And when it was time to go for the finish, you didn't quit, you didn't think about it, you got the job done.
And Megan, what about you?
This is a very hard decision to make. Both of you put on incredible performance, very dominant in different ways. Man, very impressive. You should both be very happy with your performances, and may the best man win.
All right, Tyron, you are a captain of the celebrity judges here. What was the decision?
We love both fighters, but unanimously, the celebrity panel, we decided that Zercher, you did a phenomenal job. We decided that you were going to get our vote from the celebrity panel.
The winner of the celebrity panel vote is Brian Zorcher. Here's how it works, though. The fan vote will reveal those results, and if there's a tie, then it falls to President of Fighter Operations, Ray Sefo. So, what did the fans have to say in the Bud Light fan vote? With 56% of the votes, the fans say Brian Zorcher deserves a PFL featherweight contract. With that comes a little medal. Third time is the charm. Challenger Series veteran from a season ago, showcase bout during our PFL playoffs, and now an official spot on the PFL featherweight roster. This is not the last you will see of Nathan Kelly, though, I can promise you that. First of all, congratulations, Brian Zorcher. Good display of sportsmanship, of course, from two winners. Brian, I brought it up after you won. Look, you were very focused on the goal. The goal is to win these fights, but the goal was to win these fights so you can get this contract and you can make your mom's life easier. Yeah. How does it feel now that that's a real possibility?
It feels fucking unreal. It feels, I don't know, I'm so happy. I can't explain it. I'm so happy.
You know who our PFL featherweights are. Brendan Loughnane, a champion. Chris Wade, who was on the broadcast tonight. Movlid Haibulayev is back in the lineup after an injury kept him out of things last year. Can you compete with the best in our featherweight division?
I definitely think I can compete with those guys. Even though if you look at my paper, I don't have much experience, but I've been at the gym at Extreme and a couple of different places, and I can definitely compete with some of the best fighters in the world. Much respect to all the guys that you mentioned, but it's time to get some new blood. They've been on the roster, they've been on the season for many years, and it's time for new blood. I'm coming. All my respect to them.
All right. You've dedicated so much of your work to this woman right here. Mom, please come in here. Come on. Mom, come here. I want to talk to you real quick. Okay. You told us your son is living the American dream. What does it mean to you to watch him have this success on such a big stage?
It means everything. I'm so proud. He has worked so hard for so long, so this is finally paying off. He's been waiting this moment for such a long time, but seeing him every single day, morning, evening, afternoon, hitting the gym, no matter, after work, if it's raining, if it's hot, always. There's no excuses. He's there. He's training, so
he says he doesn't want you to work so much, so maybe at least do him a favor and like take a couple of days off, you know, go on a little trip.
So hard, yeah. First purchase we do it when I get the million, we paying off her house.
Brian Zorcher, your newest PFL featherweight, and his lovely mother and motivation. So an incredible night of featherweight fights, and I just mentioned some of the names that Brian Zorcher, if invited to be part of the regular season, will have to compete with. Brendan Loughnane looked incredible a season ago. Bubba Badman Jenkins is back. Chris Wade is always dangerous and a problem for anyone in this division. And Movlid Haibulayev, yet to be defeated inside the PFL Smart Cage. Only an injury took him out. But does this man have the tools to do it? The front kicks, the calf kicks, the heavy hands. Kenny Florian, can this guy compete at 145 pounds?
Oh, listen, he knows how to move forward. He knows how to put it all together. May not have the experience of the other guys, but he definitely has the will, the work ethic, and the skill. So I can't wait to see it.
Little tight squeeze right there, and Brian Zorcher improves his undefeated record. Earns a photo with the fam and the coaches. That's all for week 6 of the 2023 PFL Challenger Series. We'll be back again next Friday night at 9 Eastern on Football Sports. My favorite weight class, the light heavyweights. step into the cage to fight for a life-changing PFL contract and a shot at $1 million. From all of us here at the PFL, see you next week on Fubo Sports.